If someone mentioned the Smart brand to you and your mind immediately went to those microcars that were really only good for the city and could only seat 2 to 4 people, well, you might have to think again. The revitalized Smart family has just introduced an all-new member to its range, and this promises to be its most spacious as well as most versatile member to date. As you can see, there's still a lot of action going on after the official unveiling. We've flown all the way to Brisbane to witness it as well as to see it in various environments, and we can't wait to show you all that this car is. This is the Smart #5.
Introducing the all-electric, all-intuitive Smart #5.
Alright, so following that very splashy launch event last night, what we're doing today is actually going to be seeing the #5 in a multitude of locations across Australia. We're going to be going to a beach, we'll be going to a wildlife sanctuary as well as a winery. First of all, if you're wondering why Australia, the Smart #5 is supposed to be this outdoorsy, rugged new member of the family, and so instead of Germany or China, which is where you might expect the Smart #5 to be unveiled since it's under Geely as well as Daimler right now, we have Australia as our backdrop for the car launch instead. I'm going to take you guys through a few key highlights of the #5 as we move across these different locations. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the #5's size. Now I want to start at the side profile of the #5 because it's not only where you will see its size but also its rugged styling already come to life. The #5 is the longest Smart to ever be produced. It's more than 4.7 meters long and has a wheelbase of 2.9 meters. That puts it above other premium electric crossovers such as the Audi Q4 e-tron size. In fact, it's almost coming into the territory of something like an iX3. Again, you can see how this car is really an attempt to break new ground for the Smart brand. Smart is positioning this as a mid-size SUV segment, and the dimensions really stay true to that positioning. And for the best proof of how long the car has grown now, let me just show you something. You can actually fit a full-length mattress here. That also means that the front seat can recline, which is testament to the car's smart design. No pun intended, I guess. But yeah, you can actually put a full-length mattress inside, which I don't think you could have in the #1 as well as #3. But let's also talk about the #5 styling, because I think this is quite a departure from what we've seen on the #1 as well as #3. Now, if you've just gotten used to the styling of the #1 and #3, then I think the #5 is probably going to throw you yet another curveball again. The interesting thing to note, or rather the main thing to note with the styling here, is that Smart is relying on what it is calling oblong-shaped signatures. So you can see 4 of them up front. You can see them in the headlamps as well. And this runs across the entire car. Full-length LED strips have become very common nowadays, but I don't think it's that common that we've seen like individual pieces stuck out like that, which is quite a nice touch, to be honest. One thing that Smart says that it is trying to craft into a design hallmark of its brand is the fact that it wants the front and rear ends of its cars to mirror each other. And so you will also see this on the rear of the car. There are some distinctly Smart-like touches though, such as the fact that we get the brand logos stuck here in a very chunky manner, very nice. And also we get frameless windows, which we also get on the #1 as well as #3. Also, those are 20-inch wheels. While we are remaining on the general note of design, what I have behind me here at the Wildlife Sanctuary might look a bit different from the #5 that we saw at Byron Bay early on. Smart is releasing 2 variants of the #5, which are the #5 Premium that we saw earlier on, as well as this #5 Summit Edition, which you can perhaps understand as the more roughed up twin between the two. So the #5 Summit Edition comes with what Smart is calling the Adventurous Collection Package, and that gives the car stuff like this light bar on the roof, we have a roof rack, we have side steps, we have more protective underfloor cladding, and also you notice that the Summit Edition has its own specific rims. And at the rear you notice the car also has extra storage on the left side, and if you need to access items on the roof, we also get this retractable ladder that allows you to climb above. So this is really the variant for those who foresee themselves going outdoors, going camping very often with the #5. That brings us on to our next important point, given after all that the #5 is a fully electric SUV. This might not be so relevant for us in Singapore, but I think it's still a good question to ask. If Smart is positioning this as a car that can go outdoors, can do camping trips, then it should have the range to meet that claim as well, shouldn't it? And the #5 actually comes with a 100 kilowatt hour battery. This is the biggest battery by far that we've seen on a Smart. that can provide a range of up to 740 kilometers by the CLTC cycle. Again, you kind of have to deduct a bit of that for real-world conditions, but it is nonetheless the most range we've seen on a Smart thus far. Another thing to note is that the Hashtag 5 runs on an 800-volt architecture, which is the first for Smart as well. And Smart says that this car can support super fast charging that can see its battery state of charge go from 10 to 80% in just 15 minutes, which is honestly really impressive. With the Hashtag 5 now, you really get the sense that Smart is trying to reinforce its positioning as a premium brand. Now, there are a few main ways in which I think Smart is trying to do this. Number one is through the partnerships that it has inked with the making of the Hashtag 5, and secondly is also through the interior of the car. Let's start with the partnerships portion, and specifically those that don't directly impact the Hashtag 5 but rather complement it. Firstly, Smart has joined hands with German outdoor brand Heimplanet to create a Hashtag 5 inspired version of its innovative The Cave tent. And secondly, Smart has also worked with American cycling brand Trek on a new Smart inspired bike. Now that I've popped the doors open and you can see these frameless windows, let's move on to our third new partner, and that is Sennheiser, which is responsible for the car's 20-speaker premium surround sound system. And now that I have the doors open, you can also see this oak trim, which speaks to the car's premium positioning. An interesting thing, instead of having our seat controls on the seat bases, you actually have them on the doors, and this actually reminds me of what we see on Mercedes-Benz's, which is the one that actually designed this car. Other premium touches include these zero-gravity front seats, as well as these electronic door buttons. And speaking of the interior, you actually get twin 12-inch screens up front, which run across the entire dashboard. You can see that the front passenger will probably have its own space to play around with as well. And that brings me on to one of the final points about the car, which is its tech. So obviously with the amount of screens on the car, you'd expect that there has to be quite a powerful computing chip running everything. And indeed, the Hashtag 5 gets an AMD V200 high-power computing chip. Smart also says that this car is set to come with generative AI that powers its virtual assistant. And even on the Hashtag 5, we're also continuing Smart's anthropomorphic obsession with an all-new animal avatar. This is called Leo. He's a lion. And again, we get the Sennheiser speaker over here. Now, what hasn't been officially confirmed yet, however, are the car's powertrain details. Although, as you can already guess, this will probably come with dual motors as well as all-wheel drive. And Smart has also already stated that this car will come with both on- and off-road driving modes, including adaptive, sand, snow, mud, and the like. So this is a car that's truly meant to bring you off the beaten path. Now, I want to end this video off by highlighting a couple of cool Easter eggs that the Smart Hashtag 5 can offer customers. The first one is right behind me right now. That isn't just any normal Smart branded speaker, but one that actually can be integrated in the car's overall speaker system and then removed and used as its own portable boombox, portable speaker for when you're having a lovely picnic like that in the winery, or when you're going outdoors camping and stuff like that. So that's the first one. For the second one, I'll have to bring you guys back to the launch night. Now, I want you guys to pretend for a moment that we're back at the launch night of the Hashtag 5, because it's a really cool feature that I want to show you guys. And I think this is something that is going to be more visible at night. This screen that you see here, that's not just something that the organizers are playing on the screen, but it's actually coming from the car itself. And if you're asking where from the car is projecting this, it's right here. So you can have your own movie under the stars. We are told that this projection can go up to between 2 and 7 meters from the car and up to a size of 230 inches. Really, really good for a movie night outside. I'm not too sure where you're going to find a very nice fabric screen when you bring your Hashtag 5 into the woods to camping, but it's still a pretty cool feature nonetheless to have in a car. Alright, so there you have it guys, we are back in the present again, and that was a very quick first look at the Smart Hashtag 5. Now, we understand that left-hand drive markets are going to be the first to get this car, so we're still not sure yet about when it might come to Singapore, although our earliest bets are in 2025. And in terms of pricing, this is positioned above the Hashtag 1, and the Hashtag 1 is currently priced at about $200,000 in Singapore. And assuming that COE doesn't change, I guess you can expect for this car to be priced even higher than that. What are your thoughts on Smart's most spacious and most versatile model to date? Let us know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like, share and subscribe buttons, and head on over to TikTok at Sgcarmart for more of the fun stuff. For now, that's all from us from Brisbane. We hope you've enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye!